I feel like kids nowadays, teenagers especially, they don't like to take mental health very serious.
I dealt with mental health in the past, and I never really talked about it to anybody. Nobody knew. It's a big thing, and a lot of kids deal with it, and a lot of kids go through it.
I think it's so important to start talking about mental health because I know how hard it is to speak up because I never did.
There's a fear typically from adults on how to approach those conversations with kids when they realize that they're struggling, or even sometimes to even recognize the warning signs.
Teachers naturally want to help students, and they don't have a lot of confidence when it comes to struggles with students.
Teen Mental Health First Aid is an evidence-based program to teach teens how to support one another when they're seeing challenges or if teens are in a crisis.
I got a chance to meet with Katie and the team over at Mahaney's, and they introduced me to the program of Youth Mental Health First Aid.
Youth Mental Health First Aid is married to Teen Mental Health First Aid. You have to have good leaders and good adults in a school for teens to be comfortable in asking that. So 5% of that adult staff has to be trained in youth mental health first aid before teen mental health first aid can get delivered.
Youth mental health training for staff is critically important. If you're going to address mental health issues in your school, you need foundations.
It just kind of allows the teachers and the students to have a little bit more of a genuine connection, and that goes a long way when you're trying to engage a student inside the classroom.
We introduced Teen Mental Health First Aid to Rensselaer City School District last year. It provides the space for students to really talk about mental health, which is not typical in schools.
Student voice is the most powerful voice within a school, and they want to voice what they're feeling, and they want to voice that to the teachers they work with, and in doing so, they can actually affect change.
One of the things I really appreciated in that curriculum is it showed us how often youth turn to one another. It further cemented in my mind, we have to be teaching it directly to the kids because that's the first person they bring their issues to.
It's a lot easier to talk to my peers about what I'm going through, knowing that they've gone through it.
I learned a lot from it. Before, I didn't really feel comfortable talking to my friends about it because it was personal. I didn't like getting too personal into my life about what happened. But now I feel more comfortable talking to my friends and stuff about it.
I feel like I have a better way to communicate with the kids in my class.
Once I learned more about mental health and about all the signs and stuff, I became more interested in it and how to help other people with it too.
This training has helped to destigmatize mental health, and I'm really happy to see that because it opens up the door for a lot more people who need help and resources to be able to get that help and resource.
Just knowing that it's okay to talk about it and that it's not something that you should be afraid of talking about.
Definitely have seen students demonstrate an increase in their knowledge around mental health. Students also talked about now having a better sense of how to respond if a friend had either a challenge or a crisis.
I think this program would be really good to spread statewide because it would really help teens understand more about themselves and maybe help recognize warning signs within peers.
It really helps you learn more about it and how to get the help for it, so it would help people a lot.
It would be an entire generation with skills to talk about their mental health and their own personal resilience.
Mental health and learning are completely intertwined, and a lot of times they're looked at separately, but when these two components really intertwine and work together, that's where you create the best environments for students to learn and to thrive.